What up, y'all? So, I just got on here just to get on here. I'm working on some new songs on the ukulele right now. What y'all doing? Me and my wife are self-quarantining ourselves. However, me and my wife, we decided that, if they were to say there was a mandatory, you got to stay in your house, this is no different than when I was in prison for 2.5 years and I had my freedom taken away from me. And what happened when I had my freedom taken away from me? I actually found a deeper sense of peace, a deeper sense of love, freedom within myself. I got back to doing everything that I loved. And I just got back to truly thinking, not with my normal mindset. It's like when you're water going down the river and then there's a big boulder. It's not like I'm going to stay here for the rest of my life. It's like you got to shift and figure out a way to get around. So me and my wife, we woke up this morning and we decided today, why don't we create a 2-week plan? Because we're self-quarantining for 2 weeks. We got enough. We weren't greedy, hoarding all the food and toilet paper and things like that. We got enough for 2 weeks, and then we both are survivors. We'll figure out. There's always a way to figure out a way around anything. So we woke up and he said, let's create a 2-week plan. How do we deepen our love? And in 2 weeks, we're more in love with each other. How do we have a better level of physicality? How do we build a deeper relationship with God? Which means we're practicing our affirmations. We're in the Bible. We're studying together. We're going to be doing some stretching and breathing together. Things that just bring us together. So we want to have in the next 2 weeks, I want to lose 5 pounds. I want to just be more mobile with my body. I want to have a deeper relationship with God, deeper relationship with my wife, deeper relationship with myself. Create something that I haven't created, that I've been sitting on. If there's a project that me and my wife have been sitting on, we're both going to be working towards that. Because, the greatest of inventions came out of mistakes, or came out of when you weren't doing what you normally do. And I just remember when I was in prison. See, most people haven't had the unfortunate but fortunate situation to have your freedom stripped away from you. I was serving a 12-year sentence in prison from 2003 to 2005, but I got out in 2.5 years. And it feels a lot just like what's going on in the world. I don't call it COVID-19. I call it Coco, to lessen the pressure on my brain. And I was like, this feels just like it. When I had my freedom taken away, what did I do? I got back to God. I got back to reading the Bible. I got back to loving myself. I forgave. I let go of resentment. I started doing things that I've been putting off for a very long time. And what I ultimately did was build my foundation, who I am as a person. I built myself, this foundation, to the point where it was too big for the space. And when it was too big for the space, the miraculous happened. I was released from prison. Why? Because I was embodying freedom. And so what I see now is nobody's talking about racism. Nobody's talking about politics. They're talking about, what the hell am I going to do with my life? Now with time, just maybe there's a higher order that's saying, slow your little hot ass down. Be in alignment with yourself. Connect with one another. Connect with your neighbor. Be still and know that I am God. If I was God, which I'm a version of God, but if I was the maker of all this, and I'm trying to connect to the whole entire planet, there's only one way I can get y'all's attention, because we be crazy as freaking people. Bam! How can I get everybody's attention all at once? For the first time in my life, the entire world is on pause right now. So what's people doing? What are we going to do? Now you really see who people really are. You see all the greedy people, see all the selfish people, but then you see the true heroes, the moms, the workers, the dads, the children, people who truly want to make this world a better place under any circumstance. It's actually all showing right now. The magic of life is in the calm. Be still and know that I am God. There's a physical thing that's going on, but there's a spiritual. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So all this praying that people do, all this self-development that people do, well, right now is the Super Bowl. Your faith is being tested. Who you are to your neighbor is being tested. That's why a lot of people are broke. Really. All you got to do, look who's fighting over some toilet paper. I guarantee you they ain't got no money in the bank account. Guarantee. Because what happens is when you blow smoke underground, all the rodents come out. All the rodents come out. But here's what I'm calling forth. Everybody out there. When I was in prison, life presented me an opportunity to be still, be calm, seek truth, seek God, let go of my resentments, forgive people, connect with my neighbor, regardless if I was in prison, love people, bring all of my gifts that I've been sleeping on out. When I embodied the essence of freedom, that's when I got my sentence. I was serving a 12-year sentence. And all of a sudden, when I embodied the characteristics of freedom, the miraculous happened. Be still and know that I am. Now, when I was in for the hurricanes, the last hurricanes in Houston that was killing all those people, what they did not share on the news, pay close attention, what they did not share on the news, is what was happening with humanity. Because when I was over in Houston, while all of those things were flooded out, while the hurricanes were hitting, I actually flew into the hurricane. And then it was I was going to strangers' houses. I was going to the oldest houses, helping people break down drywall, do all these different things, neighborhood to neighborhood to neighborhood. It took 3 days, took off whatever was going on. 3 weeks I was out there in Houston. But what I saw on the ground is not what they showed on TV. What I saw on the ground as all the old trees washed away, new was thriving. The oldest neighborhoods washed away, new was thriving. Get this. I also saw a togetherness in humankind. Not black, white, Asian, nothing. Humankind, when life was threatened, actually came together. To the point where I went to a stranger's house who had a Confederate flag. I walked in and I said, "Do you need any help?" It was like he had never seen a black person before in his life. And he looked at me and his guards was up, but nobody else was helping him and his house was flooded. I bars none. And I walked in, helped him break down the drywall, me and like 7 other people break down the drywall. When I left, he looked at me like he was like, "I cannot believe a black man helped me when I needed help the most." And he reached his hand out and he shook my hand. And in that moment I said, this is God's work. 100%. This is God's work. Because only God could create a connection like this. And when I see all this stuff going on the media, what's happening? Nobody talking about racism. Why? Because everybody is one right now. So, because this reminds me a lot of prison, and this reminds me a lot of when I was in a similar situation in Houston while the hurricanes were happening, I encourage everybody out there to let go of resentment, to forgive, make your health your number one priority. Don't be selfish. Don't be greedy. Don't hoard. That's not a form of abundance. Learn to love yourself, this temple, this sanctuary inside of yourself, because you treat out there in direct proportion to how you treat yourself. And in this moment, it's easy to have faith when it's easy. All right, cool. Right now is game day. Everybody is looking, everybody around you is looking for an example. People don't do what you say, they do what they see. The magic of life is in the calm. So say, for instance, they shut everything off. Could you potentially become a minimalist? We say, do what you can with what you have, but don't ever leave out your neighbor. Never leave out your neighbor. And then while you at home, just maybe with that time, you can actually rekindle relationships. You can actually invest time with your kids, learn something new. You can actually, whatever was going on, maybe you can drop that ish and be like, you know what? I love you. I truly love you. And whatever we arguing about, it ain't worth what's going on right now. How can I support you? That right there, there's a divine ordinance. There's a divine order that goes on in the world, and our life goes from cycle to cycle to cycle. My advice is to not do the same thing you've always done. I'm going to be taking my part to learning a new language in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to get back to playing my ukulele. Me and my wife, we were like, how can we create a better version of us going out and then lead by example? And we both agreed to it. So we're masterminding today. You know, I had a conversation with my daughter yesterday. She was in tears and she was scared. I said, baby, we've been through much worse. I said, now is the time to lean on the Lord. I said, it's now time to you have the opportunity to strengthen your faith right now. Right now, in this very moment. It's easy when it's easy, baby. But what about now? Look at me, baby. I'm calm. And we will get through this. We will get through this. The magic of life is in the calm. And then all of a sudden, my daughter stopped crying. And I said, if you need to call me or text me, if you need to cry and everything, we said we loved you and everything. And me and my wife, we're just figuring out ways to be creative in our businesses, creative, you know. Somebody was like, why are you talking about business during this time? I was like, because our business is revolved around people. And what is the one thing that the CDC is talking about? Make sure you take care of your health. I happen to be a wellness entrepreneur. A lot of my friends are buying a lot of products and so they can support their family, their moms, their aging moms and things like that. Now here's another thing. Your immune system weakens through the emotions of panic and fear. It actually weakens and it raises your cortisol levels, which is your fear hormone. What you want to do is boost your serotonin. That is the molecule in your body that actually makes you happy. And you do that through your health. You do that through being active. You do that through dancing and singing and things like that. Blair is absolutely amazing. We've taken on the same mindset. So thank you for asking. So fear and panic. Fear and panic. You cannot make a sound decision through the eyes of fear. Why? Because fear is activated by the pain body. So any decision you make out of fear will not work in your favor. Be calm. be still. You actually have an opportunity to be still. Check on somebody and tend to your divine, your mind, body, and soul. And learn something new. Don't just sit on your butt and do the same thing that me and my wife are self-quarantining right now. We got just enough. We got 2 weeks and we'll figure it out. We got some shakes and supplements and things like that. We got some dry food. And the thing about it is we're sending a lot of prayers to people. We're loving on people. People are calling us frantic. I got caught up going down the rabbit hole and all this other stuff. And I was like, nah. You ain't about to get me. So I had to pull myself out of it. And if it was strong enough to get me, I can't imagine what's happening to the rest of the world. Who's going to be the example? Who's going to be the hero in their family, their business, out in the world? It's got to be somebody. Why not you? But it will not come through the eyes of pain, fear, resentment, the unwillingness to forgive. It will not come through the eyes of that. So, yeah, my mother is doing well, taking on the same emotion. I mean, the same take. Here's the thing. I truly do feel it's an opportunity for people to come together, love one another, and actually be who we were called to be, rather than all this other madness that's going on. I've seen way too many cycles of this same thing. And I'm not saying don't be smart. Be smart. Find you a trusted source that you can talk to. But then when you watch news all day long and you keep watching and you keep watching, I promise you that will be your new song. Like when you listen to a song over and over, all of a sudden you start dancing the song, singing out the song, all these different things. I spoke about this yesterday. However, now is a time that you can dive into your good book. You can actually listen to some audiobooks, meditate, breathe, stay calm, stay locked in so that you can make sound decisions. That don't mean I don't have a bat here, because I wish a nuka would walk up my doorsteps. But at least allow me to invite you in, or at least bite you to the doorstep or something like that. So, but I'm not being stupid during this time. However, every decision that I'm making is not through panic. So this was on my heart while I was playing this right here. So I'm gonna play you a little song, something I'm working on. Hold on. Something like that. I'm just working on some stuff. So, I love each and every one of y'all. I'm going to read you, it's a little book that me and my wife, we read. And this is not like a religious thing. This is just, we just happen to love Psalms. So, I want to read you what it says. Today's the 17th. What's today's date? Hold on a second. Anybody know what today's date is? Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. All right. So this is Psalms 32:8-9. March 16th. Oh, so I'll read 16th and 17th. The Lord says, I will guide you along the best pathway for your life. I will advise you and watch over you. Do not be like a senseless horse or mule that needs a bit and bridle to keep it under control. This promise has encouraged me from my childhood. God has promised to guide us throughout the day, every day of our life. I was like the way of but verse 8, I will instruct you and teach you in the way which you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. God's eye is on you today. You are too precious for him to ever let out of his sight. Basically, you're not alone. We're all with you. We all support you. We all love you.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.